Mayor, this is good news. You say you will follow the CDC's guidance. What does that mean? Should people in Chicago wear masks or not?
Well, I think we've got to get some clarification from the CDC. The rollout, obviously, as the reporting has been, was a bit abrupt. And I think they've got a lot of clarification that they need to do. I know for me personally, I'm going to continue to wear a mask in public, and I'm going to encourage others to do so. We've got to make sure that people are continuing to follow the public health guidance that has gotten us this far. And masks, I think, are a big and important part of that. To say, well, if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. That's great. But what about all the other people that are out there that aren't vaccinated? And there's no way to know that. So I think for the time being, most people are going to continue to wear masks outside of their homes. And I think that's smart.
But when we're told follow the guidance, we don't know what the guidance is. What are you telling businesses in Chicago?
I'm telling businesses a couple of things. One, get your employees vaccinated. And we are doing everything that we can to provide support to those businesses. We're actually holding a series of vaccination events in downtown businesses so that employees can get a vaccine in their workplace with people that they know and feel comfortable. And then that helps bring them back to work. We're also continuing to make sure that we are social distancing, even as we open up. We've got good news happening here in Chicago, but by no means, whether it's Chicago or any place else in the country, are we out of the woods. The virus is still here. The virus is still real. We're still seeing deaths every day. So we can't afford to feel like the virus is gone and suddenly we can just go back to 2019. That's just not going to happen.
Will the honor code work? Or are we going to need people in some way to prove that they're vaccinated?
I think that what we're going to see after these vaccines move out of the emergency use stage, that employers, places of entertainment are really going to put a premium on proving that people are vaccinated before they can gain entry, whether it's to work or places of entertainment. We're going to do a series of events this summer where we incentivize people to get vaccinated by only allowing people that are vaccinated into these events. So there's a lot, I think, that we are going to have to do to break through this next wall of hesitancy. Anybody who wanted to get a vaccine has gotten a vaccine right now. Now we've got to dig into those people who are vaccine skeptics or hesitant.
You had previously said you wanted the city of Chicago fully reopened by the 4th of July. Does this new guidance change that timetable?
It doesn't change the timetable, but I think we've got to clarify for people what we need to do to get to that point. And again, we still have a long way to go. We've got to continue to bring down our case rates. Our percent positivity is heading in the right direction. But we've still got to get more people vaccinated, long and the short of it.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.